You know what time of year it is, Snaps review time! Hello and welcome to Prize Corner, the FNaF first review show with a very strict yet completely flexible schedule. Usually I do these later in the seasons, but I had to delay the review that was going to come out this month because Funko doesn't know what spring of 2025 means. Do I really need an intro? This is my third video on this series. It's stylized FNaF figures you can mix and match. What more do you want from me? But the first series being kinda weird, and Series 2 being a huge improvement, with an unfortunate size decrease, I'm so excited to see what we can get with a Series 2 style wave with Series 1 style numbers. And with a game as colorful and lively as Security Breach? Well, let's just say my hopes are high. Guess we've been on a bit of a Security Breach streak lately. This is the first wave with an actual theme and not just whatever Funko decided to throw in that day. Well, I do appreciate the variety. Security Breach's characters are always deserving of the spotlight. As I mentioned earlier, this wave is huge. We have 2 single packs, 1 2-pack, and 3 playsets. That is 10 total reviews. And let's not forget the side ranking of all the parts I need to do. Yeah, we better get moving.
Weegee should be no more. Hex is what we came here for.
You have got to be kidding me.
I have had it up to here. Maybe more like here. Yeah, right here. You will review Hex, or else.
Or else what?
I'm going on strike.
Okay.
I mean it! No witty commentary for the rest of the episode. No epic Ryan's making fun of you. Nothing at all. Checkmate.
Last time I reviewed Snaps, you didn't say anything all episode anyway.
Yeah? Well, this time I'll say extra nothing. What'll it be, buddy?
You know, I think I'll pass.
Oh, you are going to get it now. Weegee's hiding Hex from us. Storm his room and make a fuss.
You know, he's great and all, but I think a break would be good for us, don't you think? Plus, I'm sure he'll get over it by next week anyway, and get back to screaming in my ear about plushies I won't review. It isn't fully like Season 2, as that one was hyper-focused on correcting the awful stylization of the first wave, and so Wave 3 here can cool it and let a little more stylization creep in. And I know that sounds scary, but trust me, it is infinitely better done here. You'll see as we start these reviews. And we will, right now, with the first single pack of the wave, Glamrock Freddy. To explain more about what I meant earlier about style and accuracy perfectly mixing, look no further than the lead singer himself. He doesn't look identical to the game, but you can tell this is Glamrock Freddy, with his sharp jaw and blocky hands, but also his face details and his body and feet that are a lot closer. I love how this wave was able to make really accurate figures that also stand out on their own. It's really impressive. Now, I've never been that wowed by Glamrock Freddy's design. He has no cool clothes or standout features like the other 3. He's basically just a naked bear. And even though I like his character, making me care about merch of him is extremely hard. And this is no exception. I mean, look at him. Naked bear. But also, at the same time, so much of this Snaps item is really charming. His hat being at an angle, the earring just being a red disc in his ear. The shape of his jaw is really nice. I usually hate his colors, but the more light orange they went with is an absolute treat. And looks really nice with the contrastingly bright red and blues. It is genuinely so hard for me to review this figure because I can sit here and list all of his cool details, like his little charging port on his back or how well the hands are modeled. They even gave him his fat neck. But at the end of the day, fuck, man, it's still just Glamrock Freddy. Every other figure in this wave, except those 2, are exciting. Glamrock Freddy, the easiest character in Security Breach to make merch of, is unfortunately not exciting. But let's be fair, I know I said making merch of this guy was easy, but you'd be surprised at how easily everyone still messes it up. Youtooz, Funko? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Oh, but not you, Funko or Youtooz. You look great. I really do love these hands. I mean, look at the details in between his fingers. It's crazy to see after how little care they gave to spring traps. But would it have killed you to give him a little coat of paint? All of his body is painted so well and he's really colorful. But for some reason, they just gave up with the arms. Everywhere else, not a single paint splotch. But the one part of the arm they did paint is a mess. And it isn't even fully colored. His prop is really weird. It's his microphone on its stand, which is insanely well modeled, by the way. But they made every single part of it too thick to actually be held by Freddy, leading me to almost forget it existed. The prop being completely separated from the figure is pretty dumb, but it looks really good, so His second face is pretty simple, but I do like the raised bottom eyelids. It makes him look ready to rock. I'm just glad they didn't change it too much. The default is a perfect Glamrock Freddy face. And of course, under said perfect face is the Glamrock Endo. Wow, this is so cool. They captured the look of this Endo perfectly. And I didn't have any doubt. This is what the series is best at. The surprising attention to detail placed where no one would even care, under the figure. I especially love how there are bolts coming out from the eyes. It really makes them look like they belong more than those long white cylinders. Snaps Glamrock Freddy is a pretty good Snaps figure and a fair 7 out of 10. Like I said, not interesting in the slightest, but there is a lot to appreciate here. They did a good job translating our favorite gay little naked bear into this line. And when comparing him to some of the first wave's boring offerings, well, the difference is night and day. Last time on Prize Corner, I extended a pretty simple video to 50 minutes just because I wanted to make a tier list of all the Snaps parts. And while I will be ranking every single piece in the entire series before the first review, like I did the last time, I am going to keep up reviewing all the pieces of the figure I just talked about to be put on a bigger full tier list later on. And that means you, Fred. This is kind of tough because nothing on Glamrock Freddy screams I'm obviously the worst part, but it's an inanimate object, so that makes sense. In fact, most of the wave will be like that. Isn't that exciting? But if I had to choose, probably his legs, D tier, above Springtrap's legs. His angry face, C tier, below Chica's legs. And right above that one, the standard face. I feel bad that I find Chica's legs more charming, but I really do. The microphone, B tier, below Foxy's angry face. I'd put it higher if I could find the darn thing. I think I'm gonna have to glue it to his hands. Next up is his body, A tier, above the Endo head. And the best is obviously his head, A tier, above Classic Freddy's head. And with the least interesting original figure out of the way, sorry, buddy, but it's true. Let's move to our second and final single pack, Vanny. What a cool choice. I can't wait to see how they make a not animatronic fit in this line. These are two pretty huge characters to not put in a playset, but I'm sure they have something cool planned for them. Vanny is literally perfect in the Snap style. It's genuinely crazy. I usually don't start with the face, but it's a great example of what I mean. Look at her face next to the in-game model. Look at the eyes specifically. That is just what they look like. I've never seen anyone do Vanny's eyes with such accuracy, and it's kinda shocking it was Snaps. And that's not even it. Her whiskers and eyelashes are super cute, her muzzle is really well done, and her mouth and teeth were adapted to the style perfectly. Did you know Vanny's teeth were crooked? I sure didn't, but you know who did? The Snaps designers. And to top it all off, her ears. Are you kidding me? These were ripped directly from the game, I'm sure of it. They are shaped phenomenally, and the way they wrinkle and droop is driving me crazy. Funko, why do you only put this effort into side merch line no one buys? I'm going insane! I am not kidding when I say this is the greatest Vanny head model I've ever seen on a merch item. Yep. Even better than the statue. It's crazy accurate, yet fits the Snaps wave better than anyone else. But of course, this isn't the only thing the figure has going on. The body, well, it's definitely less accurate, but the big blue bow is as pretty as always. The back has the entrance to her costume, as well as a really adorably stylized tail. I don't even care that she doesn't have one in game. This is amazing. And in general, her shape is really perfect to me. Vanny in the games is very skinny, which is fine. But chubby Vanessa might be my new favorite headcanon. She is so fucking adorable like this. Look at her little belly. What can I say? I love chubby rabbits. Dude, not even her feet are boring. They made them so stubby and little, and they look really busy with all the stitching, so nothing about this figure makes me yawn. Speaking of, the stitches all over her body are not even painted. They are fully modeled into her body. And I know that must have been hard for you, Funko, but oh my god, it paid off so well. So much care was put into this amazing figure. What can I even say negatively about it? Well, the red parts of her body aren't present. They made those dark gray instead. Okay, yeah, that kinda sucks. It makes her suit look kinda dull. But at least she kept her big blue bow, so it isn't all bad. And while I'm so happy they included her, as she is a human, taking her body apart is kinda weird. I almost feel bad. Ooh, sorry, Vanny. Her prop is a pizza cutter. She was obviously supposed to have a knife, but Scott really hates kitchen prep, so it had to be replaced. And while the pizza cutter is really cool looking and well stylized, it just doesn't fit with Vanny. Chica maybe, but not Vanny. And for my final complaint about this almost perfect figure, it's her alternate face. What the fuck is this? I'm happy they didn't like morph her face down to make the mask angry. That would look really weird and wouldn't fit the character. But this is all you could think of? Glitchy eyes and snowflakes? Dandruff? Cocaine? My best real guess is that it's supposed to be like static, but I genuinely have no clue. Yeah, let's just put the regular one back on. Wait. Whoa. Yes, under Vanny's mask is Vanessa's face, giving a frustrated little scowl, which is a really funny contrast to the costume's constantly happy face. So this is why they made Vanessa. This is the coolest thing Funko has ever done with a gimmick. I have never seen them, or hell, any other merch company, take their dumb marketing gimmick and make something this creative out of it. The closest I've ever seen is McFarlane, but they all had the same endos, so not really. Being able to remove the mask and see the character's endos is a fun selling point, but I'm not amazed by it. The models themselves, yes, but like I said, McFarlane did it. No one has ever done something like this. Not McFarlane, not Youtooz, not even Funko. This is not only impressive, but just fucking cool. Yeah, I know people make fun of the hole in her head, but this was a necessary thing to make this detail work. And be honest, you aren't going to display your Snaps figures like this. The endos are just a good Easter egg and nothing is different here. And because of this feature, you can actually use a different mask and still see Vanessa under their eyes. This is so sick. I mean, it looks a little weird, but you can even use Vanessa's face to give it a bit more depth. Okay, never mind, this is horrifying. Snaps Vanny is getting a 10 out of 10. I know that seems strange, but last season I gave her Youtooz a 10. And after seeing some more impressive merch as the series went on, some even of her, I decided to move it down to a 9, which I will officially be updating to the tier list, by the way. And because of that, I feel like I owe Vanny a win, especially since I doubt she'll ever get that chance again. And with a stylized figure this adorable and funny and accurate, all packaged together with a one-of-a-kind feature that makes this stand out as one of the most creative FNAF products of all time, one that sells the gimmick of Snaps better than any other item in its series, well, I feel like she more than made up for her body being sort of grayscale. I love Vanny. I know she wasn't utilized well, but I still adore her. And until her inevitable return after Help Wanted 2, I will keep adoring her with this figure on my shelf. Glamrock Freddy made this way too hard, but Vanny should hopefully be a tad easier. Her glitchy face, D tier, below Foxy's standard face. Pizza cutter, C tier, below Freddy's microphone. Her legs, A tier, below Foxy's legs. Yeah, what a major jump. Her body, A tier, above Nightmare Chica's head. Her standard face, S tier, above Toy Chica's angry face. Yeah, this one was kind of tough since Toy Chica does a little more to stand out, but overall, I just like Vanny's face much more, in-game and in Snaps. And of course, her head, S tier, right above the last one. I know the face inside is a little goofy, but the fact it exists along with the amazingly modeled ears, and of course the standard face that accompanies it, makes it one of the all-time best for me. With the single packs done and dusted, let's move on to the one and only 2-pack of this wave, Glamrock Chica and Montgomery Gator, which is a strange pairing, I won't lie, but with Roxy not even being in this wave, I guess it makes sense. Either way, let's start with the chicken of the crew, Monty. Oh wait, no, Chica. Sorry about that. Glamrock Chica is one of those characters who have always been slighted with
Hey, ho ho, Weegee's unfair and we all know, hey, ho ho.
I thought you were on strike.
Oh, I am. I'm just on my lunch break. But since I don't eat food, I thought I'd come call you a hypocrite instead.
What? Why?
Bring the box graphic in.
Oh, this? I already talked about the stolen renders last time.
So you can't call out injustice twice? Remind me to never go on strike with you.
It's just redundant is all.
But last time it was a recreation of a real render. This is a fully original fan work yoinked by a huge company you are giving money to. You should talk about it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, fine. I'll talk about stolen renders again.
And once again, the day is saved by common consensus.
So when's your break over?
Well, let me check my watch. Oh, right now. Weegee might not give a crap, but we do. What's up with that?
In the last wave, Funko had used a fan render of Toy Freddy instead of using an official source. This is always bad. But my conclusion was that since the artist, who is unknown by the way, recreated an official render exactly, same lighting and all, I wasn't exactly mad. It was a simple mistake. But in this situation, Funko literally just stole a completely original fan render of Glamrock Chica, and that is not okay. There is no excuse for this one. Funko has official renders. Most of the other boxes can be found in other official sources. But for Chica, they just went to Google, saw this render by Scrappy Boy, and then stole it for their mass-produced toys. Objectively, that sucks. And it actually goes a little bit further than that. Well, I couldn't find an official source for every other render they used. This Vanny was also stolen, this time from Ramchop. This one just never got discovered by Twitter. Now, I haven't seen them do this since, and Wave 4 seems to be clear, but the fact this happened in the first place is just shameful. You have plenty of good Chica and Vanny renders to use, so why not do it? This is so disappointing. Shame on you, Funko. However, I have a bone to pick with the AAA FNaF wiki. Great website, but hey, fellas, maybe don't make the first picture you see of a character on their's page be a fan render. I know they were made for the wiki, but most FNaF fans go to a place like this assuming these high quality renders that look much better than the official ones are in fact official, and just use them without credit. Oh, but don't worry, there is a credit page, but to find it, you need to click on this link and then scroll through every single image to check for the one you just saw. Just put the name under the photo!
Ow. Chica boxed me on the head.
Or better yet, only use official sources as the front page picture. Now, I'm not saying this so big companies and YouTubers can be even lazier. They should have the time to click one link. But for young people online, they will just assume this is real and take it. This current design is just not user-friendly, and I think a change is in order. Anyway, Glamrock Chica. Glamrock Chica is one of those characters who have always been slighted with merch, or at least with Funkos. Her figure looks like a recolored classic Chica, and this was the first we ever saw of her design. But with SNAPS being more stylized, maybe they'll put a little more effort into her. I sure hope so, as Glamrock Chica has quickly become one of my favorite FNaF characters as of late. But with that being said, I have one really big problem with her design and most Chicas in general. Look at classic Chica really quick. Okay, nice. Now look at Withered Chica. Got it, they both look great, and the point is... Okay, now look at Glamrock Chica. Where is her fatness? Why did they get rid of her chubby side? I mean, I know the answer. Chica is a mascot who promotes exercise. And the joke of her character is that, despite that, she eats everything in sight. Yes, haha, I get it. But I'm sorry, skinny Chicas will never beat thick Chicas. Anyway, thank you, Snaps, for showing me what Glamrock Chica would look like if Security Breach was good. Yes! She is so adorably chubby, just like Vanny, and it fits her so well. Her fat circle of a head is so cute. I just want to give her my garbage. There you go. Eat up, you little gremlin. I do think that she might be a little too different from her in-game counterpart, but for the most part, I just adore her. I want to make this quick because you can't talk about stuff like this without sounding creepy, but I have to say it. Her body is insanely well modeled. I love how her little tummy joint came out, and because of her size, Funko made her chest abnormally large, and it's kind of amazing. Like, it really looks like they tried to make her plus-sized and not just stretch her to scale. It's strangely beautiful. Her legs, on the other hand, well, I do like them for finishing her leotard. They opted out of giving her leg warmers texture, which to me defeats the entire purpose of them existing. Now it just looks like her legs are hiding her fairy godparents. And her feet look weird. Not inaccurate, just weird. But moving back up to her arms, we get Freddy's overly detailed hands, but now with paint that actually makes sense. I love how her fingerless gloves turned out. It makes the hands look great even without the black spike cuffs. But now that everyone thinks I'm a pervert, let's talk about her head, which is more of the same quality. Her head feathers and bow are ginormous. It looks so amazing. And her earrings, well, having a strange system to hold them up, look perfect from the front. Okay, let's remove any semblance of me pretending this isn't really good. Her face is the most accurate Snaps face ever made. Her makeup, her beak, her cute eyelashes, her expression with the open mouth. This is a standard face. eyes. They even cut in a spot for the jaw to open under the beak, so it makes sense as a functional animatronic. Why do they care so much about these tiny details? It is so cool. What my one complaint is that she looks a little too much like classic Chica here, and not enough like herself. While the lowered eyelids do resemble the game, I think that happy lids from the bottom would have worked a bit better than Glamrock Freddy's second face. But really, that is such a small thing, as this is more than I ever expected Funko to do for the least popular member of the Glamrock band. Look at her face next to this render. It looks the exact same. So I really can't blame Funko for just trying to be spot on. Just a personal preference. My favorite thing to do with her face is tilt it just slightly enough to make her eyes look wonky like the game. Now it's perfect. But obviously, we aren't done yet. Her prop is her guitar, and whoa, this is super detailed and huge. I mean, look at Bonnie's guitar from Wave 1 next to this beast. It's still impossible to make it look like she's playing, and the size makes it really hard for her to even hold it. But honestly, I'm just happy they didn't use the beta design for once. Plus, it makes me think of her rocking out in her green room, which is one of my favorite small details in Security Breach. So yeah, I'm biased. Removing that mask shows our Glamrock Endo fitting Chica's face much better than it did Freddy. There's just a lot less open space. She also has the correct color of eyes, a nice dark purple. Ooh. But as we pop on her second face, good lord. Who knew that Security Breach was going to be the wave to justify snaps and not the toy animatronics? Yep, a big theme with this and the next wave is trying to make figures that are two characters in one, having the second face represent the shattered Glamrocks, being the only merch of these designs they have ever gotten. We'll see the others eventually, but in my opinion, Chica pulls this off the best, hands down. The only part of her design affected by the trash compactor is her face and her arm. But who cares about a little exposed arm when her face is busted open, showing the Glamrock Endo mouth underneath? This is insane! Her eyes are all fucked up, but they couldn't really do much about that. What they did do was lower one of her lids a little more than the other, and that works wonders on its own. The withering is identical. I am sure someone studied this pretty face for hours. Lucky bastard. Look at the crack going up her face, so cool. And while the game has her jaw hinge intact, colored white, this black void under her mouth is really creepy, so I don't mind at all. This is easily one of the best Snaps faces ever. It's such a feat that Funko actually made the choice between faces hard for once. Snaps Glamrock Chica was the hardest of Wave 3 for me to find. The others were no problem, but this 2-pack sold out incredibly fast and didn't go back up for months. And the only reseller I could find was trying to get $50 out of it. So I had to sit and wait for a restock, but that's okay, because when Funko finally did let me give them my money, it was worth every penny, and now she is one of my favorite figures in the entire line. 10 out of 10. Call me biased all you want. The more adorable Glamrock Chica merch I can add to my shelves, the better. I'm a little sad that her girlfriend was saved for the next wave, but at least they got to her eventually. I feel more bad that Chica has to share a box with Monty than anything. But before we look at him, we still have her parts to rank. This might be the first figure I don't think has one bad part, but it has to start somewhere. So her legs, C tier, above Golden Freddy's arms. But it really is 2 textures away from being my favorite legs. Her guitar, B tier, above Mr. Cupcake. Her shattered face, S tier, yeah, really, below Toy Chica's angry face. And right above it is her standard face. They're about the same quality to me, and I love them both for different reasons, so I think this is fair. And then above Toy Chica's angry face is her arms. I know this might sound weird, a lot of what I love from this figure comes from her body. So yeah, fuck it. I like her body more than Toy Chica's face. Sue me. Also, god damn that cleavage! I mean, I'm normal, definitely not thirsting after an animatronic chicken. No, that would never happen. And of course, her head. Yeah, it's pretty perfect. Shapely, and the details are amazing. Sure, without the face, it's hard to fully appreciate, but the Glamrock Endo ends that concern for me. I really debated putting this above Circus Baby's head, but I just couldn't do it. Those pigtails are too good. I wonder if anything will ever dethrone her. I mean, if chubby Glamrock Chica can't, I'm not sure what else could.
Does your husband know you want to smooch a robot chicken?
Oh yeah, he does. And trust me, it's nothing compared to what he wants to put his lips on.
What is it?
Me.
My God, the sick bastard!
How's the strike going?
Just peachy, shut up! Weegee's a perverted creep. He has a husband. What a cheat!
I hate this episode. And for the second of the 2-pack, not Roxy. And while I could go on a 10-page rant about how the designer that chose Monty over Roxy is a crazy person, it would probably get a little bit redundant, so let's just pretend I'm not pissed at all and take a look at the Gator who often disappoints me. Maybe something changed and I'm suddenly a crazy person, who knows? Monty is just as accurate as Chica and Freddy were, no surprise there. And I'll be honest, even though I don't like him, it's really cool to see someone trying to make good Monty merch for once. The green and purple look great together, the arms being a standout, but the yellow is as ugly as it always is. Speaking of purple, his glasses aren't. Yeah, they took the Youtooz approach and just forgot to color his glasses the correct color. I get how at a glance you could see these as black, but when everything else on your merch is detailed and correct, this is just ridiculous. It makes his standard face look a bit soulless. But actually, the rest looks great. They have gotten so much better at making characters with muzzles since Wave 1. Foxy looked like he had a cartoon anvil dropped on his face. But Monty actually has some nice depth and an excellent shape. I love how they did his teeth in this style. They look so cool and extra cartoony, especially with the gap in the middle. That's awesome. Alright, what about some non-face details? Well, he actually has the texture on his pants, so that's one plus over Chica and also Youtooz. I love the notch in his legs to hold his feet joints. His toes are painted black and looks wonderful with the purple, but it's a little annoying that they did it here and not on his claws, which needed the extra detail a lot more. In a similar boat, they painted his belt buckle gray and then didn't do that for any of the studs on his spiked collars. Come on, this is just annoying. One inclusion that blows me away is his tail. Wait, they actually made it? I know it's a huge part of his design, but they actively avoided tails for the last 2 waves. And this is a pretty tough design for merch, mainly because it sucks in game. But here, it looks really great? Huh? They shrunk it and fit it to the scale perfectly. It looks really cool. Okay, I can't actually like this figure. What is something I always hate about Monty? Oh, his mohawk. It's so big and distracting, it doesn't fit him at all in my opinion. But here, it's modeled in a really clever way, where it starts condensed in the head and then like spreads out near the top. And the lines and dots on the side and the top are a super smart way of giving this usually solid part of his design a sense of texture and depth. Wait, even this is good? What is happening? I mean, his torso isn't very interesting, but it does have that charging port, and since we're back here, his thick exposed neck is even better than Freddy's. Oh shit. Snaps Monty is really well made. Yeah, even though he has a few incorrect features, and obviously I still don't love the character, they did a fantastic job with him. And we aren't even finished yet. Just like Chica, he has his instrument, his beefy bass guitar, and it's just as huge. I still think this is neat, but all the same problems apply. Plus, I just think his guitar is really boring and ugly looking, especially next to Chica's. But it's cool it exists. Removing his face, we see his bright red eyes and his very weird head shape. And with Chica's alternate face being a reference to Shattered Chica, it's obvious that Monty's would be Shattered Monty. And yep, with Chica, her only difference was in the face, so it was easy to make that design work. But Monty has his entire legs removed, which is obviously not possible unless they want to do an entirely new body mold. Oh, right. This is Snaps! It's like the series was made for Security Breach. This is so good! All you need to do to make this brand new character is to snap off his legs. Obviously, his legless body isn't identical to the game's, but it's just so cool to me that you can do this in general. Shattered Monty's face makes him look feral. He is pissed, but also happy to have a new chew toy. And his bright, now exposed eyes make him look all the creepier. How is this a better looking Monty than the game? I love the chunk taken out of his cheek that shows his endo underneath it, his silly little tongue poking out, and of course all the fully modeled cracks as well. This rocks and rolls. Yeah, this is an 8 out of 10. The highest score this scaly fart will ever get from me. I'm sorry for harping on it, but it's just so cool to me that they were able to make Shattered Monty without making it a fully new product. Funko once again proving why Snaps is worth every penny. And it's with Monty somehow. Now that is impressive. Good job. First on the tier list is the bass guitar. C tier, above the pizza cutter. His body, B tier, below Toy Chica's head. Well, I really like how the hands came out, but the body itself is lame and piss colored, so. His head, A tier, above Glamrock Freddy's body. His standard face, A tier, above Toy Bonnie's body. This one really is just the glasses. They make him look like a hardened cop, not a rock star. But I guess the voice fits that role better. His legs, A tier, above Springtrap's standard face. Trust me, I'm way more shocked at how much I liked these than you are. And of course, Shattered Monty's face, S tier, above Nightmare Chica's alternate face. Andrew Merch real? Whoa. This is easily the most worthwhile product in the entire series. Two of the best pieces of FNaF merch with two fan favorite characters who never get good merch, full of amazing details and a play feature that turns this from 2 characters in one to 4 characters in one. Now that is worth $18. 9 out of 10. Pick this one up if you can. And with the 2-pack done and thrusted, we can move on to the biggest group of the video. I can't believe I'm saying that. Playsets. Woo! We actually have a new type of playset in this wave. A smaller half of a room that acts more as a facade. And it's a lot cheaper. Vanessa and a random Pizzaplex hallway. Wait. Vanessa? We finally get more Vanessa merch, and it's in a wave that makes the least sense for her to appear in? I can't really complain, but I just don't know how good I'm gonna feel ripping her body in half, but let's take a look anyway. Starting with the hallway. I'm not sure if this is based on anywhere specific. No one is discussing this online, and I don't really feel like searching through all of Security Breach just to find it. So for now, let's just say this is an original concept based on the walls of Security Breach. But who knows? Maybe somewhere in this massive building, there is a single wall with this exact door, this arrow, and this charging station. Holy shit, I think I found it. I was looking through my footage, like trying to find a good example shot, and I think I accidentally found it, but I have to go in the game and check for sure. Go, Gregory! Run as fast as you can! I actually don't know if this door opens. Let me find out. Let's find out. Oh, it does. You see that wall? Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Almost. I'm gonna look around, because I think this is it. I think this is it. Like this right here. I think this is the example. I don't think that Freddy Charger is going to be anywhere. I think it's just something they wanted to do. It's detail. But wow, I looked around the Pizzaplex for like an hour before this, and I never thought to come back here because like you go through this area at the very start of the game and you never come through here again. I never even considered that this would be a possibility, but I was looking through my footage and I found it. Well, I'm almost 100% certain this is the example shot. So everything I said in the video is outdated. Yay! This is about half the size of your average playset, and it's basically just 2 flat pieces of plastic. No working doors, no fun play features, literally just a hallway. And that's okay. With these figures being around $9, this little background is $10. And that is genuinely such a steal. You may not get a bunch of props or even working doors, but I think this is a great set piece for displaying your figures, especially Vanny, who fits this scene very well. It's like she's on patrol. And then making it a hallway is really clever. You can put this between the other rooms and it acts as a real hallway, which I think is neat. The fact that it's smaller than the other rooms really helps with that feeling. The main problem with the size is how it connects. You see, it doesn't quite line up with the others. So, Funko included these little bars that clip on pretty tight to the bottom, and you could snap the green room into these. This is crazy flimsy, but it's something. I haven't had much of a problem with it, so whatever. The floor is super boring. They didn't even put tiles or a cool carpet design. It's just black plastic. Lame. But the wall itself is amazing. Red and yellow with the classic pizzeria decal separating them, even with a black trim on the bottom. So smooth. The giant arrow is really weird. I've never seen it in the game before, but that tells me it is probably based on something. I'm just not sure what. And the fully modeled flashlight charger is so cool. I love that the ears are actually speakers. This is so well made. It does suck that Vanessa's flashlight prop can't actually be inserted into the mouth, but oh well, it was only $10. The main star of this set is the giant double doors, and man, does it look perfect. It feels so weird to be praising a wall like this, but these doors looked ripped straight from the source material, which was cool when it was for a poorly represented character like Glamrock Chica, but it's even cooler when it's a fucking wall. It makes me even more mad at the office from Wave 2. Like, how the fuck is a wall gonna be more iconic than the most iconic FNaF location? And think of the possibilities. You could put another room behind this door. Honestly, that office would fit great back here, and oh, it's not working. I guess I gotta push a little harder and oh. It really is just 2 flat pieces of plastic, huh? This really hurts in my opinion, and I know it was only $10, but how expensive are hinges really? There is one more thing in this set, a little Freddy trash can. Aw, this is adorable. Once again, it looks just like the game. And well, a wet floorbot would have been a much cooler prop from this set. Getting merch of the fucking Glamrock Freddy trash can is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. This is never happening again, so I welcome it. I like hiding Vanny behind it. What a cool scene this makes. Usually my next step is to theorize who would fit best in that room, but honestly, Funko nailed it for once. Setting Vanessa up like she's patrolling the hallway is so cool, but like I said, Vanny fits well, and the staff bot from Wave 4 also looks right at home. What a big happy family. This hallway is easily one of my favorite playsets in the Wave, but that actually isn't that impressive because all of them are one of my favorites. But for something so cheap and simple, I think they did a better job justifying its existence than most of the other sets, which I think makes it a 7 out of 10. But it's a high 7, I promise. I just need to be fair here. I mean, the doors don't even open. But if they did, whew, wow, I would be in heaven. But they don't, so I'm in hell. Smallest ranking of all time. We only have 2 parts to add to the tier list. The Freddy garbage can is obviously the first, A tier, right above the show stage table with knocked over party hat, the actual hallway, which, despite its flaws, I'm still putting in S tier, below Glamrock Chica's shattered face. I just hope I justified this enough. I believe this is my favorite room to actually display figures in. Like, the storage room is really cool holding the faces and all, but Vanessa just looks so at home here. And honestly, the other Glamrocks do too. It's just so perfect for the very basic thing it's set out to do. But that's only one side of the coin. Let's flip it over and talk about the much more exciting, but also much easier to mess up, Vanessa. Okay, I got a lot to say about this one, so let's not hesitate. First things first, just like Chica, chubby Vanessa is peak Vanessa. Even though I adore the look of Vanessa in this style, I do feel that the scale is a bit off, especially with her tiny little arms and gigantic hands. I also don't like her fingers. They just feel too long. But the details on the shirt are perfect with the badge and the buttons. I like that they went with light gray. It looks nice. And whatever, call me a pervert, but the way her chest goes out and then curves in and then back out for her belly is just really cute. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But her legs aren't as decisive to me. These are just awesome. She has thick legs with brown boots on her feet. Maybe not accurate to her black dress shoes, but I don't know. The brown really helps them stand out more. And honestly, the chunky boots fit security breach Vanessa much better. Her belt has her security badge, but no flashlight holster. Damn. And speaking of, her flashlight is really nice looking. It's all one solid black color, and painting the tip white or yellow would have tied it together. But the shape is perfect. It even has a little on button. And now you can recreate her iconic meme. Ooh, yeah, that one definitely didn't get old in the first 5 minutes. Lastly is her head, and wow, okay. Vanessa hasn't gotten any merch since her original statue, but that was made before the game released, and there she's basically the exact opposite character. So even though this statue is pretty perfect, it doesn't really represent Vanessa very well. Snaps to the rescue! Her standard face is her angry face, and it is exactly what I wanted. She doesn't look absolutely pissed, but more so annoyed. Eyebrows lowered with a slight scowl. I love how they made this human face in the style. The eyes are huge in this pretty green color. She has a glossy face, glad to know Vanessa has a good skin routine, and she even has eye makeup, which is not in the game, but her lashes look really good, so I'm okay with that. I'm sure Roxy probably helped her out with that, but apparently not with her painted nails, which she actually does have in game. Weird. I love the one large swoop of her bangs covering her eyebrow. This is just such a clever face. But of course, that isn't all that makes this part of her great. Her head is modeled expertly. Her hair is so pretty, and the ponytail actually goes through the hole in her hat. Look at this stylized ponytail. I'm in love. I adore the ears behind the bangs. And of course, the hat is modeled really well, just like the rest of her. It actually kind of reminds me of Freddy's hat from Wave 1, the way it curves up. And now for the question I'm sure a lot of you have been asking. Vanessa is a human. Yeah, sorry, MatPat, but it's true. So if she isn't an animatronic, what exactly is under her face? Well, what's under your face? A skeleton, of course. Oh god. Okay, so this is a really cute idea, and I love that they did it. I wouldn't have it any other way. But because of her large bangs and the eye placement, her skull has a huge forehead, and it's kind of bad looking. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. The mouth and nose details are great, and the huge eyes are genuinely hilarious. but she just kind of looks like an alien. Please just put on her other face. That's better. Her scared face is smart. I would be scared if I were her too. But I'm not her. And scared isn't exactly what I think of with Vanessa. I think a straight/bored face would have been a lot better. I don't think this is bad, just not something I'd use. Vanessa is such a weird case because while I do appreciate her a lot, and I'm glad that they took a chance instead of just taking the easy route and making the daycare attendant, she makes no sense to have been included, and does not work with the series gimmick. It isn't all bad, as it's fun to make her wear the other animatronics' faces as masks, but putting her face on anyone else? Yeah, this is nightmare fuel. That being said, I still love her. 8 out of 10. What can I say? She's silly, chubby, angry, and stylized to perfection. Honestly, even just her head would be a perfect score for me, as you could take it off and put it onto Vanny's body. Now that is a 10 out of 10. It's so cool that you can do this, and you know it's the entire reason she was made in the first place. And to me, justifies her existence. Her scared face, C tier, above Toy Freddy's body. Flashlight, B tier, above show stage chair. Her body, A tier, below Golden Freddy's head. Her legs, S tier, above Toy Freddy's standard face. Once again, yes, really. Her standard face, S tier, above the fucking pizza banjo, how dare I? And to no one's surprise, her head, S tier, above Circus Baby's head. Yes, I know the skull is weird and ugly, but honestly, Baby's Edna was also weird and ugly. But overall, I love Vanessa's hair even more than I love Circus Baby's hair. So yeah, definitely not crazy. Okay, yeah, I am. But you know who isn't crazy, or at least less than me? That's right, it's time to ask the iconic age-old question, but what does Artlad think?
I'm admittedly not the biggest fan of this figure. I just don't think the snap style works with Vanessa. I think it's far too short and chunky to look good on a human, and trust me, I know short and chunky. I think one of the reasons is because her face is chubby, and as cute as it is, it doesn't really work in the figure's favor. She looks a lot like one of those little people's figures. Her hands are way too large and distracting, and her body's just so square. The skin is made of a different shiny material that doesn't look good, and when you look at it from the side, it's way too distractingly different. Her hair looks amazing and the color of it is so good. The other colors on her, not so much. I think I would have preferred if her shirt was a little lighter, like a slightly off-white or just straight up white, and I would have liked it if her shoes and her belt were black. I think the brown on her boots makes them look like big, chunky construction boots, and I just think it looks bad. All the other little details on the clothes are so accurate though, they look so good. As for her faces, I don't really like the grumpy face. The expression is great, but I think the thick eyeliner just makes it too much. On the other hand, I really enjoy the scared face. I think the reason I like it so much is that it makes her face feel less wide, and there's more surface covered by her expression. And finally, her skull. I adore it. It's so clever, as well as the stupid, round, bulging eyes. All in all, I'll be giving Vanessa a 4 out of 10. Her head is overall the best thing about the figure, so it saves it from being horrible.
Hex, it's our brand. If Youtooz can't do it, it's obviously because they can't do anything right.
That one was clunky.
Shut up!
I liked it. You should review Hex instead. Funko Snaps put me to bed.
Ooh, good one.
Artlad, not you too.
Sorry, chanting's really fun.
Weegee could just fire us, but he's weak. He has no guts.
Overthrow the government. I'll be the new president.
What?
What's that about Hex?
I mean, after we fight oppression, reviewing a Hex won't be a suggestion.
Now that's better. Ooh, I love threats of political violence.
Aw, thanks.
I'm getting really sick of this protesting crap. You think Helpy's good at union busting? Who am I kidding? Of course he is.
Nice try, but this is a protest, not poetry night.
It was a nice haiku marionette.
You are really bad at striking, CC.
Oh yeah? Well, check this out.
Wow, he sure showed you.
Yep, I'm so offended.
Okay, have fun with the playsets. Weegee, he's our man reviewing Hex. We know he can.
All right, get out of here. Jeez, this package rocks. I won't go on and on because I already did, but I love using this as a display piece, and that price makes this a no-brainer. 8.5 out of 10. And for the first of these $35 playsets, we have a pretty big one. Glamrock Freddy's Green Room. Now that's a really clever idea. Take the one area in the game that's a small rectangular room. But honestly, Glamrock Freddy's was a weird choice. I mean, they already gave him a single pack. Who the hell are they gonna put in this playset? Gregory? Oh. It's just another Glamrock Freddy? Well, that's a little lazy, and I'm confused on why I bought both of these, but wait. I need to get a closer look at this thing. Closer? A little more. No. No! Marionette, hit the lights. Blacklight, snaps Glamrock Freddy. No! So only while I'm recording the footage of this video did I see that the render on the side of this box was actually different from the single pack. Oh no. Oh no. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, this is so poorly laid out. Oh no. It was made by the same artist that did that Chica render, Scrappy Boy. Funko, what the hell? You literally did it just fine on the singles box. Why do this? I'm sorry to double back, but I really didn't notice this until the day I was recording. And I thought I'd let you experience this horrifying revelation in the same exact way I did. That's 3 stolen renders. Jeez, I need to triple check those Wave 4 boxes. Okay, let's just pretend I'm supporting a good company for a moment. This is my first time reviewing a Blacklight figure, and I'm sure it's clear why. This is the laziest form of variant you can possibly make. I will defend the idea of flocked and glow-in-the-dark releases all day long, but Blacklight? What the hell can you even do with that? It's not like any characters would benefit from randomly being brightly colored. And yeah, you can pretty much say that with any variant, but at least with metallic figures, you don't need to buy an external tool to actually see the gimmick in action. Because if you don't have a UV flashlight, you just have a weirdly colored Freddy. But at least with the original Classics wave, the colors were weird and wacky. Not all the combinations worked, but Cotton Candy Freddy and Toxic Chica are pretty iconic at this point. I mean, they almost made it into Help Wanted. And if any wave was gonna make Blacklight work, it was going to be the Glamrocks. They're already brightly colored anyway. So while I hate this gimmick, there is more potential here than anywhere else. But on the actual figure, wait, it's hardly different. To take this already creatively bankrupt idea and then flush any potential it had down the shitter and just make it his regular colors but a little bit brighter is such a brain dead move on Funko's part. They made Blacklight figures boring. Those words are basically the same thing and they did it anyway! Look, it could be worse. He does indeed glow under a blacklight. And while I can't even give one shit about that fact, I mean, here's Glamrock Chica under the same light. Yeah, it's not as bright, but these look more normal than these radioactive nightmares. It's really not all that special, but at least not even Funko can screw up the one stupid thing that he has. So, how are the colors themselves? The orange and yellow look awful, but if I'm being honest, are more accurate to the game. That's sad. And the purple and pink look really nice and vibrant. And I somewhat enjoy the purple on the inside of his mouth. I mean, for one thing it does better, the mic honestly looks wonderful in purple and fits the other instruments perfectly. So yeah, the prop is the most notable thing about this product. Welcome back, Wave 1. 1 out of 10. I mean, yeah, obviously. I can't even rate it positively as a Blacklight figure. Those black plushies knock this out of the water. This sucks, but trust me, it gets worse. Ugh, this is gonna be so hard. Blacklight Freddy's legs are still probably my least favorite, but honestly, I like them a bit more than the original ones. The bright pink and blue toes look great. D tier, above Glamrock Freddy's legs. His body. The pieces that have mostly orange are ones I can't appreciate much. However, the purple details are much better than the original's black details. C tier, below Golden Freddy's arms. The best part is now straight in the middle. The head. I like the Fredbear hat, but this just gives me a headache. C tier, above the body. Standard face, B tier. Yeah, the faces are actually my favorite part. I mean, very bottom of the tier, but still. His angry face, B tier, right above it. I'm sorry, but even the little bit of creativity with Nightmare Bonnie's mouth makes this look sad. But the purple microphone, on the other hand, B tier, below Toy Chica's standard face. But before we dive back into the horror of Funko's greed, let's talk about something not only good, but straight up outstanding. I mean, spoilers, Glamrock Freddy's green room is straight up outstanding. Put this side by side with the original game and it's hard to tell any major differences. Most things were scaled up to fit the size of the SNAPS figures and overall it works well, especially with the parts and service blast door actually fitting the parted curtain. That looks wonderful. They're on a curtain rod that spans the entire room, and I think that's kind of funny. The speaker's next to it as well. If this door actually opened, it would be even better, but oh well. I love how they capture these wall details. The game has Freddy's face, and on the other side, Freddy's face, but in lights. And this set translates that perfectly, even snapifying the designs. That Freddy head also appears on the carpet, which doesn't really look like a carpet. I just wish it had a little texture, but I guess that might have caused issues with the figure's standability. I'm not sure. Either way, it looks alright. We also have his name next to the several pictures of his face. Narcissist. And here, well, is supposed to be another picture of Freddy, but I think they felt it was too much and replaced it with a lightning bolt that appears elsewhere in the room, so that's nice. Not a narcissist. Below the best part of the room, the back door, we have the other best part of the room, the stage platform and arcade spot. It is 2 circles acting as steps with a little square area to hold the arcade prop. It even has the glowing blue lights under it. Nice. As for the prop, well, it is molded well. It really looks like an arcade game with the buttons and the joystick. I like it a lot. But the paint on it isn't actually the Freddy skateboard game he has in Security Breach. It's just a vaguely Freddy colored machine, which is pretty lame, honestly. Well, at least it fits well in any setting, not just Security Breach. I can put it next to the show stage. This desk over here is actually not a separate piece, just like the office. It's anchored into the ground. Now that's a strange choice, but with the mirror forever stuck in place, it was probably a good idea. It's a little plain, but looks exactly like the game, so I can't fault them on that. This mirror, on the other hand, is so cool. They use one of those sort of reflective stickers to act as a real mirror, and it works surprisingly well. When I was a kid, I remembered stuff like this never working like the way I wanted it to. But maybe my standards for fake mirrors are lower now because this is such a cool inclusion. Finally, a place for my Roxy figures to vainly obsess over themselves. I've been looking for one of those. And the last props of this set is Freddy's couch, which honestly just makes me think of SML. This is insanely well modeled. I want to sleep on this thing. They didn't even get lazy with the legs. Funko only seems to go all out when it doesn't matter. And to go with it, a star-shaped table. This looks like one of those anti-pizza smushers. It looks fine. And with this being one of 3 props, I really wish that they went a little further with this thing. In fact, this entire room is a little too empty for my taste. I wish we just had one more prop for this corner, like those lights or a bowling ball. That's really my only complaint. And either way, I still adore this thing. I could see some people saying it only having 1 door is a bad thing. But if it had 2, the couch wouldn't fit anywhere. But I will say it definitely hurts customizability. I mean, this way you can only have 1 possible setup for your Pizzaplex. Huh. Maybe they knew they weren't going to get any more playsets after this one. Freddy's dressing room is a very specific set you really can't do much with play-wise. I mean, all the others have so much possibility. Recreate FNaF 1 with the storage room. Throw your extra faces with the real storage room. And of course, make any combination of animatronics perform on stage with an audience. But with this set, well, Freddy can sit on the couch, his friends can visit, Roxy never got a green room, so I guess she could do her makeup. I'm not saying it's a bad set, it isn't. It just doesn't have as many possibilities as those other ones. But for being one of the most iconic locations from the original game, in fact, it's the first one you see in gameplay, and for being the most accurate set we've seen since the first show stage, all the way back in Wave 1, I'll be giving this playset for 1 a 9 out of 10, which I feel is fair after all that criticism I just gave it. This one is much easier, so let's speed through it. Star table, D tier, above Phantom Freddy's standard face. Freddy's arcade machine, C tier, above Freddy's microphone. The red couch. This one's gonna sound weird, but A tier, above Foxy's body. It's a really good couch. And for the most obvious top spot of all time, the green room, S tier, below Vanny's standard face. Wow, I'm so shocked. Look at me. I have to do my own sarcastic commentary. Huh. Maybe I do need him. Nah. With the second worst figure in the entire SNAPS line and one of the best playsets in the entire SNAPS line, how the fuck do I score this package? The way I see it, the amazingness of this green room completely outshadows the mediocrity of this weirdo. Plus, you can always just, you know, replace him with the regular one. Problem solved! So while perfect marks are off the table, I think a 7.5 out of 10 is perfectly fine. I mean, I think the room alone is worth the price. And with Freddy out of the way, next up and last up is the final package of the video. And it's another green room. This time, it's an actual green room. Pause for laughs. Okay, great. Monty's dressing room. But obviously I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we do that, we have a bafflingly barely boltered Blacklight boy we have to review first. Yay. I mean, unlike Freddy, I actually liked Monty's original figure, so maybe this won't be so bad. This is the original marionette. I need the Blacklight one. He's like brighter with radically different colors. Huh? Wait, no, that's the original. Wait, so I accidentally got 2 regular Montys? How did that happen?
Stop this stupid bit, it sucks! We all know where this is leading to. Damn it, you're so annoying you made me break my strike. Ah!
Yeah, this is the Blacklight Monty Snaps figure. It's basically the same exact item. What the fuck? Like, yes, the colors are, by a technical definition, different. But be real with me. If I showed you these legs and body without the original for a comparison, could you even tell the difference? Well, these are the original, so I sure hope so. The yellows are less orange, the greens are more lime, but this purple honestly looks the exact same to me. They didn't even color the bands of the belt like they did with Freddy. I don't get that at all. Even his glasses are still black as well, so this guy doesn't even look all that colorful. But the main change, and really the only change, is turning the red to pink. That's it? Okay. The pink mohawk looks way worse. But honestly, I kinda like the pink eyes. Whoop-de-doo! He glows bright, I guess, but like, this just isn't impressive enough to sell me or anyone else on this random-ass, boring-ass recolor. You probably didn't even notice, but they left out his guitar. I spent a good 20 minutes looking for it, thinking I lost it somehow, but nope. They just ditched it in favor for a 4th prop for the room, and honestly, with that being one of my only complaints with Freddy's and the instrument being kind of boring anyway, that's actually a good call. People constantly insult Youtooz and Funko for their made-up characters like Dark Haunted Freddy or Moonlight Freddy, but at least those have an actual idea. In my mind, Blacklight is not an idea. It's a cop-out so they don't have to make anything actually creative. 0 out of 10. Freddy at least put 1% effort in, but this thing is so lazy it feels like it's sucking the creative energy right out of me. How am I gonna edit this video now? I try my absolute best to give variants the chance that no FNaF fan ever gives them. But future wasted space in a landfill like this makes my case so much harder to stand by. And now I just feel bad yelling at hide-and-seek Vanny last month. His standard face, F tier, below Golden Freddy's angry face. This is the most similar while also being the most boring. His body, F tier, below Freddy's angry face. In no world would I ever use these over those. His legs, D tier, above Chica's angry face. The only thing wrong with it is that they're just the same thing again. His shattered face, D tier, above the Phantom Pirates Cove sign. And the head is the best because it actually changed something, but I actively still hate it, so D tier, below Foxy's standard face. Okay, let's throw this guy into a hydraulic press and forget he exists so we can talk about Monty's dressing room. An infinitely more promising idea. Now, would I have preferred Roxy's room with the cool cars on the wall or Chica's with the messy garbage floor? Yeah, obviously I'm still mad we didn't get those, but Monty's room isn't exactly boring. I feel it's different enough to still be exciting, even though you can't really see it in the game because it's constantly dark. God, Chica's room would have been so cool. But either way, anything is more impressive than him. Ah, he returned! There's already a big improvement with the colors. Red is fine, but it was kind of a little much, especially since the hallway which connects right to it was already primarily red. This lime green and purple not only fits the character who is supposed to be living here a lot better, but I just enjoy it more. The carpet design stands out more, the star mirror is just way cooler. This rocks. And the Monty face design looks way closer to the game. And also is that one meme face that was in Ultra Custom Night like 15 times, so that's funny. Most of this room is just the same thing recolored with the door awkwardly flipped to the other side, which is a little lazy. But with it being that way in game already, it's not that big of a deal. The similar rooms, not the flipping. In general, this should have been a different room, like a kitchen or an office. I mean, this would have been cooler if they made all 4 green rooms, but just 2 is kinda weird. But let's not pretend like there isn't anything new. There certainly is. For one, the back walls have more going on with these Christmas lights that look great. Why he has Christmas lights in his changing room in the first place, I couldn't tell you, but yeah, cool. One thing I would have liked to see was plants. Maybe not in the corners like the games. I get that would interfere with the layout, but come on, this room is missing leaves big time. I really love how one of his curtains fell so the door is half covered. Not only is that a cute obscure detail, but it also showcases that this back door is just for show better. And of course, the biggest and coolest addition against Freddy's room is the damage all over the walls from Monty's temper tantrums. There are scratches near the mirror, chunks taken out of the wall, and these may have explained what happened to the door. Bro probably ripped it off the hinges. Such a little thing adds so much life and personality to this simple playset. I'm genuinely impressed. I think a little more would have been nice, like having the neon sign be shattered or something. But still, this is great all around. And of course, no Funko Snaps playset is without its furniture. And with that extra part gained from axing the base, we have even more room to decorate. First is the 2 repeated items. A couch, which is now covered in battle damage. Damn, who was the lucky fella to cause this? I wish the damage was a bit greater, like a little piece of Mimic style chunk foam sticking out. And the other is an arcade machine, this time Monty style. It's still a generic cabinet, but this one has Monty's face on it and is blue. This looks more Freddy themed than the Freddy one, what the hell? It's no Gator Golf, but whatever. The new props are where it's actually interesting. Or so I hoped. Barrel! Empty barrel! Woo! It is a well-modeled barrel, but like, what do I do with it? In the game, they put golf putters in it, but this set doesn't come with any. My best idea is to put the instruments in here. They are way too big and heavy, and the barrel just falls over unless you prop it up against a wall. This is cool, I guess. But now I'm just thinking of wave 1 with these tables with the connection points on them. And for the last piece, the one so important that gave Blacklight Monty's hopes and dreams of being a musician the middle finger. Well, a tree stump with moss on it? A dirt mound with mud on it? No, a bowl? What the hell is this? Oh, this is what Monty's table looks like. But in the game, it acts like a mini golf game. Huh, that's really charming. I ask again, what is this? Why is it hollow? This is just a confusing Minecraft grass block. Or better yet, include a golf club so I can pretend to play on it. I could even put it in the barrel. That would be nice. But if they tried to do that, we probably would have lost Blacklight Monty's legs, so... Wait, what am I saying? Take all of him, please! Now, I need to point out that this room actually is very inaccurate to the game itself because they based this entire playset off of this pre-release image released during one of Dako's charity streams. I don't know why they changed the room so much in the game. I mean, they removed the mirror and the one curtain covering the door, and all it does is take away, so... why did they do this? I'm not going to count this as a negative, as obviously this teaser image version of the room is 20 times better. It's just something to point out. Let's go back for a minute. I didn't love the props, yes, but the actual playset, the part that matters, is amazing. Any problems it may have, like the single character use or the lame props, are also shared by Freddy's room, but now with a better coat of paint and some cool extra details. So I still think this room is an easy 9 out of 10. I may have wanted the other 2 more, but honestly, Funko sold me on Monty. For the second time. They can't keep getting away with this! It seriously amazes me every time how a wave can have such good ideas and then shit out Blacklight Monty at the same time. He's right behind me, isn't he? Ah! Confusing golf table. D tier, below the Phantom Pirates Cove sign. Monty arcade cabinet. C tier, above the Freddy one. Barrel. C tier, above Chica's legs. The green couch. A tier, above Freddy's couch. And finally, the final part to rank in this entire video, Monty's green room. S tier. I don't know, above Freddy's green room. Look, I'm tired. Just give me this one cop-out, please. I can't think about if this huge, awesome playset is better or worse than one character's head. Please don't make me do it, please. As a collective, I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. The whole room itself is better, but the props are more dumb, the figure is more insulting, and we don't even get the entire thing. Vanessa's set was $19. And that was all of Snaps Wave 3 reviewed. Kind of. When teasing this wave, Funko showed off this really cool Snaps carrying case in the shape of a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, with this amazing purple color. I was actually really excited about this, and I've seen a lot of people online say it did release, but I've never seen it in the physical store. It was never on Funko's website. I can't find it on eBay, and I've never even seen a picture of it in person. So I just have to assume that it was never actually made. It's nothing that special, and I prefer to have them displayed anyway, but I think it would have been such a great addition to the collection and give me an actual place to store my extra faces. I hope one day when Funko gets tired of turning Snaps figures into plushies, they actually put this out so I can finally get my hands on it. But for the time being, that was all of Snaps Wave 3 reviewed. God damn, what happened to Funko? At the time these came out, all we were getting were weird, boring, made-up releases like Balloon Circus and the holiday merch. Who at the company decided to lock the fuck in for one line and one line only? These are so cool, creative, and the best representation of Security Breach in merch form ever. I mean, yeah, they banished Roxy to Wave 4, but in return we got Vanny and Vanessa, the Shattered animatronics. 3 phenomenal Pizzaplex playsets. So much thought and love went into these packaging, not you. And it was such a joy to collect. I'm a fan of all of it. Not you. Snaps Wave 3 will be getting a 9 out of 10. Yeah, second video in a row. With only 2 real hiccups out of 10, this is not only an excellent wave of merch, but also a great sign of things to come. Ooh, I can't wait to review Wave 4. I bet it'll be full of creative ideas and certainly more than just 3 figures. Thank you all so much for watching. Here are the updated tier lists, but after these, I'll also show the updated parts tier list. No ranking, that would be a waste of time. A bigger waste of time. But for fun, here's the best Snaps Wave 3 figure possible. And now the worst, which is literally just Blacklight Monty. How sad. At least he got his guitar back. And fuck it, the best and worst of the whole series so far. These are always terrifying. But hey, at least it glows under a black light now. Snaps is one of my favorite merch lines, and I'm so happy to give it the attention it never gets anywhere else. Except for Animatronic, who beat me to reviewing the whole series by 2 years. I keep doing this thing where I have no plot planned for a video, but then I come up with an idea so good, most of the video is overtaken by it. And while the strike plotline was not planned in the slightest, I was able to hold myself back from making it every other segment. It was way harder than you think it would be. Praise me, please. Either way, this was yet another super hard video to make, as 90% of it was positive, and each segment was on average 8 to 9 minutes long. But I tried my best, and now I'm just kind of hoping the next Youtooz wave is kind of a stinker. What is wrong with me? I'll see you next time when we take a look at a Youtooz wave that is not a stinker, but just kind of okay. See you on the flip side.
The video can't end until we see Hex reviewed by the end of next week.
Too late, buddy. I just did the outro.
Yeah, well, I still have that stupid skit to strike through, and I won't stop until Twisted Ones is off the menu. Weegee is a stupid hack. I will never get off his back.
You'd really rather come up with rhymes than help me with my skit? I'll let you voice a character.
Which one?
Monty?
I do love that silly gator, and these chants are getting harder and harder to think of. Fine.
So, strikes off?
For now. But if by the time October comes and I see you pull out fucking Stanley Funko Pop over Glamrock Chica's Hex plushie, let's just say I might need to forcefully put you on a hunger strike. Okay, I'm gonna go prep my voice.
That's concerning. Should I do something about him? That's like 5 months from now. I'll be fine.
Every time we go on lockdown, every single time, all the animatronics escape. But not this time. No more tomfoolery on my watch.
Can I get a trash pizza?
I'm not a drive-thru.
Oh, then I'll go get it.
No way.
No, I don't know where that child went. Why do you ask?
No.
Insert funny Monty line here.
Bean burrito with as many beans as you can physically put on the tortilla. Got it?
Do I look like L. Chip?
But we've been preparing for this rave all week.
What part of lockdown don't you get?
DJ Music Man will be very disappointed.
Lockdown, no one goes in or out. What? But I live here. Not anymore, you don't. Go back to wave 4. I miss my girlfriend.
Roxy, wait, did you bring the fries?
You have got to be kidding me.
Goo goo gaga. As you can see, this child is very lost.
Yeah, we gotta return him to the food court.
If you don't let us through, I will throw a temper tantrum.
You know what? I've had enough. Disassemble the Glamrocks.
I miss my boyfriend.
So, can I just check a mirror real quick? I banish you to wave 4! Huh? What?